This summer is heating up, and so are the boys in gold. With 11 matches unbeaten, the boys in gold took home 3 points from Chicago and have a 2-match road week ahead. Let's talk about it here on Spotlight. Welcome back, my friends. Hey, Will, can you tell us, where are we today?
Oh, that's right, Liv. So glad you asked. We are at Neighbors in Franklin. Great spot out here.
I mean, great spot. Pub partner, neighborhood partner as well. And if you haven't watched a game here, you're missing out. The patio is immaculate, of course. Dining inside, it doesn't get better than this, and no better setting for Spotlight in general.
That's right. All right, well, we're gonna get started with a game that I call Name That Duo.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say one name, and you guys have to figure out who's the duo that completes it. All right?
Okay, are you gonna give us context clues?
Nope, no context clues. Are you ready?
Send it.
First person to get it, hit the table, all right?
Okay.
Okay, Batman and...
Robin. I don't
Robin.
need to do all that.
Thank you, Liv. I followed the rules.
All right,
need to do
all
all that.
right. Frodo and...
The Ring.
Frodo and...
Bilbo Baggins?
Sam!
Oh,
the
Sam.
boys.
Bilbo Baggins.
All right.
That's the Hobbit.
Okay,
I listened in 7th grade. It's fine.
That's all right. Macaroni and...
Cheese.
Hot chicken and...
Nashville.
Biscuit.
That's right.
Okay. Come on.
Sam Suridge and...
Aani Mktar.
That's right. All right. Well, that
There
was
we
my
go.
intro to our first segment. Aani Mktar and Sam Suridge, this dynamic duo.
Yep.
Jalil, are we witnessing one of the greatest duos in club history?
Absolutely, there's no question. And for the longest time, I would say from the club's MLS inception, the biggest question of this club is who is going to be that man next to Aani Mktar in conjunction with Aani Mktar, hitting the back of the net, facilitating goals at the rate that he's shown that he can produce for 5-6 years on the spin. Sam Suridge has done that now for an extended period of time, where we can say that this is a dynamic duo. This is one where any team that is playing against Nashville, they look at the team sheet, they're like, ah, damn, we got to erase these two off of the score sheet. And it's been extremely difficult to do because Sam Suridge got 14 goal contributions, 12 and 2, Aani 15 with 8 and 7. So this is exactly what you want if you're a Nashville fan of the historics. This is exactly what you want if this is the first time you've tapped into a Nashville game. And if that's true, you've been more than sleep.
This team's 8-0-2 when those guys link up on the score sheet. Good things happen when Aani Mktar and Sam Suridge help each other find the back of the net. We saw that in Chicago. I think you're just seeing live reps help these guys have an additional level of chemistry that can only be gained and created by playing together. There's only so much, Jalil, as you know, and you can speak to this better than any of us, that you can do on the training pitch to create that level of cohesiveness in the final third, right? It's the live bullets that are flying that allows you to know, hey, when I check to the touchline, when I pull back and look for a run at the top of the box, I know where Aani Mktar is going to be. In BJ Callahan's system, a lot of those runs, a lot of the choreographed moves have changed. Nashville wants to attack in a different way. You're seeing these two guys get accustomed to that system change now in a full first season for BJ Callahan, and those two and just their individual parts in that as well.
Yeah, can we focus in a little bit more on Andy Nahar, especially in this Chicago match, how he's evolved with this team, how he's evolved in this system? What makes him such a threat in that final third?
I mean, just his uncanny ability to be able to displace and disbalance defenders, either individually or collectively. He's a type of player where if your left side of the defense has certain types of schemes to be able to get pressure to him, he can wiggle free, slip it into either the middle of the offense or the attack, and then get himself free. You can't really set defensive schemes to neutralize what Andy Nahar does, and therefore Sam Suridge gets more open, Alex Mule gets more open, Schaffelberg gets more open when he comes back from international duty. These types of players find a lot more joy when you have what's classed as a defender playing like a 10 on the wing.
Well, and also it takes pressure off of Nashville's deep-lying midfielders. And I think we saw that against Chicago in the second half with Gaston Brugman making his first start in the team since May 17th. The last time we saw D.C. United, who we'll see this upcoming weekend, Andy Nahar occupying a defender takes away some of the pressure on the ball. So then you have a midfield maestro in Gaston Brugman. No pressure on the ball means, hey, I can pick my head up, and all of a sudden I see a 30-yard run made over the top by Sam Suridge. I see that pass to Alex Mule that when pressure is on me, I don't have as much of an ability to do that. That's no diss to Josh Bauer, who has been terrific this season, but him and Andy Nahar have a different kind of role to where Gaston Brugman on that right-hand side now has more time, whereas when Josh Bauer's on the pitch, it's Dan Lovitz who's releasing down that left-hand side. So changes up the way Nashville can build out down the right a little bit, which then in turn gets Aani Mktar available on that right-hand side as well.
Yeah, well, changes up the way. Let's hear from Coach BJ Callahan as he takes us through this 2-match week.
It's been a little bit of a stop-start sort of June for us, with sort of a break and then playing and then a little bit more of a break. But it's been giving us an opportunity to sort of really focus on ourselves and I think continue to learn. We're able to take some of those learning lessons and go against Chicago, and then again, another little bit of an extended time to just kind of focus on ourselves, and now preparation for a bit of a busy season, busy period starting with New England. And again, I think New England is the best compliment I can give New England is they're a very difficult team to play against, both with and without the ball. They have some attacking players that can really hurt you, and they are really stingy on the defensive side, so just trying to find ways to create goal-scoring chances. Going to New England is always a difficult place to play. They in addition to them being a well-coached team, it's difficult to play against. So we expect it to be a traditional Eastern Conference sort of battle. But I think the guys are up for the challenge. Yeah, I mean, I think for us in general, it's continuing to improve the areas that we need to improve through phases of play on the field and getting better. The things that we do well, we want to be better at, and the things that we need to improve on, we at least want to make some marginal gains at it. Additionally, we want competition in the squad. I think competition at this level brings out the best, and as our season has unfolded, we've had lots of contributions from a lot of players, and as we started the second half of the season and going to continue through, especially with a bit of more schedule congestion coming here to end of June through July, more guys are going to get called on and have expectations put on them that they're also going to contribute, and from that I think pushes the whole group forward.
All right, we just heard from Coach BJ Callahan. Nashville SC heads to New England on Wednesday. Will, take us through the last time these two teams met, and what are you going to look for differently this week?
Ooh, a lot of different players on the pitch from the last time these two teams met. You have a New England side under Caleb Porter that's feeling a lot more confident about the way they want to play, about their system, about a back three, a back four, the different identities in that team. We've seen them play in a lot of different styles and shapes, but one thing's for sure about New England, they are very difficult to play against. And that's something that BJ Callahan said this week, and it's something that really holds true when you go to New England. This is a game that hasn't had a lot of goals in it between either team, especially up there in New England. A scoreless draw on match day 1 earlier this season. For me, it's the best defense in MLS so far this season statistically. You look at what New England does, they are good at getting results. Oftentimes, though, they can't get that late goal that pushes them over the top for 3 points. Only one win in their last 6 games, only one defeat in their last 10 games. They had a run of 4 straight draws within that spell, so it's a team that's difficult to play against. And Jalil, as you always say, on the road, home side always gets that benefit of the doubt, especially one in New England that's so difficult to play against.
Yeah, this is a type of matchup where you can't look at the table. Obviously, New England, they're surviving. They're keeping themselves in the conversation, but they're the outside looking in as far as the playoff run is concerned. They know that every single opportunity to get all 3 points at home is vital for them, and it's not going to be easy for the boys in gold. To play at Gillette, especially midweek, you're not going to be looking at an atmosphere that's ruckus, that's popping, that's cracking. You have to be individually motivated from within to get what you want out of the match, and therefore it'll make it a chippy one. And of course, when you look at the New England Revolution, whether it's this season or since 2019 when Carlos Hill pulled up, he's the one that you have to neutralize. And of course, with Thomas Chancalay coming back into the fold after suffering the ACL injury, he's been very promising this year as well.
All right, well, Saturday, the boys in gold head to the capital of the USA, Washington, D.C.
Yep.
What kind of approach do you want NSC to take with the struggle that they've had with D.C. in the past?
Yeah, aggressive as hell. Not even worry about or think about what the previous fixtures have been, because again, this isn't one that you can look at the table and say, oh yeah, we're going to be able to use our prowess in terms of us being higher up the Eastern Conference and them being lower to be a foregone conclusion that we're going to get all 3 points. No, We know that MLS is difficult. We know that when you're on the road, it's going to be one where you're probably not favored to get 3 points regardless of what the statistics and the bookies say. I don't care. Because even if you look at the reverse fixture, when DC came here to Nashville, it was not an easy one and they dropped points here.
It's a difficult one, and it's certainly different from New England. I mean, you're facing the best defense in the Eastern Conference on Wednesday. Then you have the side that's allowed the most goals in the Eastern Conference on Saturday. 38 goals allowed this season. Lucas Bartlett, their star center back, has won more aerial duels than any defender in MLS this season. You have to try to expose him in space. It's difficult to play direct over the top because Lucas Bartlett cleans up a lot of those balls and a lot of those passes over the top. But for me, for Nashville, you're going to know what to expect a little bit more, I think, from a DC side playing at home than the one that came to Nashville on May 17th. And BJ Callahan's been open about that. When DC came to Nashville, they had pressed as high as any team in MLS away from home. But that was a difficult spell for DC and a team that didn't have Christian Benteke, who's been out for the last 6 games since the last time these two teams saw each other. They sat back, they let Nashville have the ball. I would expect them to be a lot more aggressive. This is a side in 12th right now in the Eastern Conference. You get to the second half of the season, you got to get 3 points in your home games. I think that might work to Nashville's favor a little bit, being in the nation's capital on Saturday night.
Yeah, I do agree with you, because where DC struggles is when the game is open.
Right.
And where Nashville flourishes is when the game is open. Yeah. So if Troy Lesesne and company understand that they need to be very compact and be pragmatic in this matchup, it could be more of a cagey fixture. If the game is open, you would like to think that it would favor, of course, the dynamic duo that we've been talking about from the top.
Hot chicken and biscuits.
That's right.
Who is one player you are watching for on NSC?
Jason Palasios.
Okay.
I think he really had a nice night in Chicago, one that's a little bit slept on. 95% passing accuracy for Jason in that game as he grows as a center back. As Walker Zimmerman is still away with the United States men's national team at the Gold Cup, you're seeing a new Jason Palasios add layers to his game. It's not just the aerial combative center back that Mike Jacobs and BJ Callahan scouted and saw on film and said, that's the kind of profile we need in our team. You're seeing more confidence in him breaking lines out of the back. And in a game where the other side in DC is going to press you so high and force your defenders to make smart and accurate passes, he's going to have an important role in this game.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about his performance in Chicago maybe and slept on. Yo, if y'all are still asleep on Palasios, wake up. He's been balling. He's been absolutely vital in the back. For me, he's been the best center back over a multitude of performances, because whenever a team has what would you class as maybe their star attacker, he's the one that has neutralized that attacker. He's the one that is hitting the back of the net. He's the one that has woven himself into this starting lineup. Not easy to do. The one player that I'm looking for is Joe Willis. Yeah, we can talk all about the offense, but unless you keep a clean sheet against this DC side and keep them frustrated, don't let them get confidence, you're not going to get what you want out of this match. If you go back and you look at the Chicago game, the only reason why the boys in goal got 3 points is because of Joe. If he continues to perform the way that he does, it allows everybody in front of him to play with more confidence. Defenders know they just need to get to a slight angle. Joe will make the save. The attackers know that they can take all the risks that they need. If it comes back the other way, he gonna pull something out of his hat. So for me, it's gonna be Joe Willis, because as we've seen throughout the course of this season, everything permeates to the top as far as attack is concerned. That's what we need to see, but in order to do that, your goalkeeper needs to keep balling.
That's right. There was an MLS commentator that said that he has magnetic gloves. Couldn't agree more.
I like it.
You know who I'm looking out for?
Who?
Eddie Tagseth.
There you go.
So last time that I was asked, I said Aani Nahar. He got his flowers. He had 2 assists. I'm looking at Eddie Tagseth. I think this guy deserves a goal. I'm hoping to see it. I think the NSC fan base is looking to see it. So we'll be on the edge of our seats, but there's 2 matches this week. Make sure you can catch it all on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV, or listen locally on 104.5 The Zone. The Boys in Gold will be heading to New England on Wednesday. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. and on Saturday, DC United at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Thank you for watching this episode of Spotlight.
Yeah.